What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. We're here at the greenhouse, like always, and we're going to give you a little update on some of the plants, particularly the ones we got from Ecuagenera 3 months ago from the plant pop-up sale. So if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll link it somewhere up here. But yeah, they're really getting established, and some of them are starting to do really good. So we want to show you how everything is doing. And you know the deal. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. But first, let me show you some new plants we just got. Little frog down there chilling. You know how it is. We be having frogs in this greenhouse. But let's get into the new plants. This one is not really a new plant. This is from one of my vivariums at home, but we're stealing it for the greenhouse. This is Makote's Petola. It's a jewel orchid. It's one of my favorite small plants. It is gorgeous. I tried to put some in here already, and it got eaten by slugs and melted completely, but it was a little piece. So we're gonna put this much bigger, more established plant in here. And then also got one of my other very favorite plants from my friend Steven. This is Lechinopterus, oh no. This is Lechinopterus mirabilis. He just gave me a little cutting of his. This is a really cool epiphytic fern. It grows, I don't even know how to call it. I don't even know how to explain it. So I will probably post a picture of a mature one on here somewhere so you can see it. But this is gonna grow up on one of the trees somewhere. It's gonna be super awesome. But let's get into the Ecuagenera plants. Like I said, we want to give you an update on the ones we got from the pop-up that were imports, because most of them are doing really good. They're just starting to really get established and start consistently putting out new growth. So let's go find them and show you how they're doing. All right, we'll start right here with the Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. We got this thing mounted up on the big dead tree. It's a super awesome spot. Once it gets grown in, I think it's going to look great. It kind of did where it was growing slow or not growing at all, kind of struggling for a little bit, but I think it's getting established. This is a new leaf it just recently put out, and then this also is a new leaf over here, and it has another one getting ready to come out. So I think it's getting established, getting used to being mounted. Super excited to see what that looks like when it's mature. It's going to be a big old gorgeous plant with big long spear-shaped leaves. So yeah, so far so, oh my god, is that a worm on the tree? Hold it, we got tree worms, guys. Ow! I've never seen a worm do a backflip. Dang. Someone call X Games. All right, moving on. So while we're talking about the dead tree, back on this side, we got our Filaendin PCrum. Same thing, we mounted it, and it is just kind of starting to put out some new growth and do good. So this thing should look pretty awesome. It has probably grown quite a bit when we got it, so I'll show what it looked like when we first got it over here. Hopefully it's going to grow into a big old beautiful epiphytic bush philodendron plant thing. But yeah, that thing's doing good so far. Right here is the Filaendin Patricia, also mounted on the dead tree. I love the placement of this, and this thing has been doing amazing. This is the latest leaf, and it is like as close to perfect as things are probably going to get here in the greenhouse. I think this is also a new leaf since I got it. I cannot remember, and it looks like it has new growth points coming off. So this thing is doing awesome, and yeah, you can kind of imagine what it's going to look like when it gets bigger. It doesn't change much, just huge version of this. But yeah, since we got it, it has done much better. So Filaendin Patricia, my favorite. Right here is the Biofum Sucrose, something like that. It has just been consistently flowering ever since we put it in here, and it is gorgeous. It really is my favorite biophytum I've ever had. You can see little flowers right here, maybe. Yeah, that thing's going crazy. I can't wait to have little babies of it all over the place. And that's pretty much a full-grown plant, so it's not going to look much different like that, but we'll just have many of them all over. Super cool plant. Moving on. Right here, you guys can see we got our beautiful Philodendron oblanceolatum. This thing is doing super good. It's huge and bushy, as you can see. Or you can't see, because it's dead. So that plant did not do very good. That's the one that wasn't looking very good when we got it. It ended up completely melting after a while, not doing good at all. So breaks my heart, but let's move on. So right here, hiding behind big old Uncle Bob, is the Anthurium Qaqenzi. This thing has not done great, but it did put out a new leaf, and then it got wrecked by slugs. And it looks like it has another little leaf coming out, but yeah, that thing so-so, I would say. Not doing great, but hopefully it gets established and starts doing better. I may just move it soon. I don't know. We'll see. Right here is the Anthurium Rugulosum. This thing is doing awesome. It put out this new leaf since we got it, and this is the most recent leaf it just put out. The only bad thing is I tore it with the pressure washer hose, so it's got those little rips in it. If not, it would be a perfect leaf. So that is my fault, but this leaf is much bigger than the latest. So this thing is going to do awesome. Pretty much keep growing like this, just get bigger and bigger leaves. And I really like the placement of it. So one of my favorite plants in here, probably, to be honest. I say that about everything, but this one probably really is one of my favorites. Right here is our Anthurium Regal. This is the leaf it had when we originally got it. And then since we've planted it, it put out this leaf, which is kind of wonky. Got beat up by slugs. But it put this leaf out like it was putting it out while we replanted it. So I'm hoping the next one will be beautiful, which if you look down here, is going to be coming out very soon. So it put this leaf out and then like immediately started growing that other one. So I think it's just getting established and probably going to start doing really good. Super excited to see when that thing gets big old leaves. Over here, we got our Anthurium Campi. This thing's doing super good, even though it looks a bit beat up. The slugs just absolutely love the new leaves on this when they're first coming out, so they turn them to Swiss cheese. But you guys got to remember, I'm not trying to build a perfect little nursery for plants here. We're trying to build a natural ecosystem. So some damage on the plants actually does look natural. I'm avoiding it for the most part, but if a little bit happens, it's not the end of the world to me. Look at plants in situ and they look wrecked. But this is its most recent leaf. It's very big, a little bit less slug damage, and it already has another one coming out. So this thing's just going to keep growing, get bigger and bigger, look like a big old bush down on the ground. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. Hopefully the slugs back off a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. Down here, we got our Alafa Glossom metallicum. This is one of my favorite little ferns. And honestly, for the last 3 months, it has done nothing. Nothing has changed. It doesn't look worse, doesn't look better. I was kind of worried about it, but in my experience, a lot of the ferns, especially like Alafa Glossoms and stuff, are pretty slow growing. So I've been hoping it just establishes, and it did. It now all of a sudden, just like the last couple weeks, has all these little new fronds popping up. So I think this thing is about to start doing really good. I'm excited to see what it turns into. Check this out. I just noticed something cool. So right here we got our squamiferum. This is not from Ecuagenera. Look, it's a little frog blanket. Whoa, look at the frog. So these red-eyed tree frogs, they kind of get darker where the sunlight hits them and lighter where it doesn't. So if you look at this one's body right now, it has got like a little stripe. Crazy looking little guys, but sorry to bother you. Okay, now he just wants to sleep on my thumb, guys. Technical difficulties of having a jungle, you know? Let's get this guy back, and then we can move on with our plant tour. Back to sleep, little fella. Right here is the other Alafa Glossom we got. This is the Alafa Glossom apodum. And this one, honestly, also has done nothing. It has not changed much. So I'm hoping to see some new growth coming from it soon. But yeah, look at this. This is why I need to get an RO filter soon. We're going to do an RO system. I'll talk more about that. But look how much nasty hard water we're getting on some of these leaves. I hate it. All right, right here we got one of the orchids we got. It's the Epidendrum Medusa. It looked pretty rough when we first got it, if you guys remember. If not, we'll show you a little picture or something. So we put it right here, and it has not gotten any better looking. It is not dead, but yeah, it's not looking super hot. So, you know, moving on. So I actually just noticed something while I was talking about that. We put this upside down. These are the bottoms of the leaves. So, man, all the plant people are going to be judging me so much. Oh, no. Guys, I'm a mess. And I'm pretty sure this is all new growth. It was just upside down on a soaking wet rock. So I'm surprised it's not dead. But yeah, now that I flip it up around and put it right here, it might actually do good. So probably going to get it placed a little bit better off camera. But there is hope. Good night. And back here, lurking behind the Monstera, we got this Bulbophyllum Kingi. I'm not sure if that's actually how you pronounce it, so feel free to correct me in the comments. But that thing, I wish we would have filmed this like a week earlier, because that thing's doing really good, and it just had a gorgeous flower, but the flower literally dropped like a few days ago. But that thing's good. Love it. Beautiful. Awesome. Great. Moving on. Right here is the Philodendron insigne purple. This is one of my favorite plants. If you remember, the back of the leaves are awesome purple. And it took us forever to get this one mounted, so it was just living in a cup for a long time because we were waiting to finish this tree. But we got it mounted, and this is all new growth right here since we got it mounted. So it's growing much smaller leaves, but it's growing very consistently. So I think it's going to catch up soon and look awesome. I really love these epiphytic philodendrons and stuff. They look so jungly to me, and they're such cool plants. So I love that thing. I'm excited to show you guys updates in the future. All right, guys, that is it for the Ecuagenera plants. But as you can probably see, we've got a lot of other plants in here since then. The greenhouse is really starting to grow in and turn into a jungle, but we still have a lot to do. So if you guys want to see an update or kind of a breakdown of all the rest of the plants in here, let me know. I'd be happy to do a cool little video and go through all of them. So just let me know in the comments if you want me to. But from here on out, we're gonna kind of chill on animals and focus on finishing hardscaping and making this more of a jungle. So I'm gonna start really collecting all the little oddball, unique plants, the epiphytes, cool little ferns, all kinds of stuff like that, and just fill in the greenhouse one plant at a time. So we've kind of got a good start to the forest floor. Now it's time to start on the rest of it and see how it turns out. So it's gonna be sick. You guys make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, like down below. And if you have awesome suggestions for really cool plants, you know, I'm not looking for suggestions for like pothos and stuff. No offense to anybody that's a pothos enthusiast out there, but like unique epiphytic plants, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel.